Hi, my name is Brian Nicol, and this is my video for Module 1. We start by taking a look at Module 1.1. The first graphic we're going to look at is the housing crisis in New York City, with people spending more than 30% of their income on rent. This defines them as rent-burdened individuals, and that's nearly half of New York City. The graph shown to the right is how many vacant units would be in a 200-unit affordable complex on average. Is historically low vacancy rates in New York, as well as the homeless rate in New York, which has spiked compared to the rest of the nation in the last few years. A big point I want to touch on is the experience and environment and climate issues that come out of New York City. With New York City being a coastal town, there is floodplain risks all across the outside of the building, as well as New York City being a large heat island with the amount of concrete and lack of tree canopy, as shown in the graph below. For the final thesis, we look at sort of what issues matter most for housing in New York City. The big thing is housing affordability. We want to make sure it's affordable to everyone. Climate environmental risk, making sure that everything that New York City has to offer in terms of its environmental risks is taken care of. The economy, how can we get residential buildings so they're geared for the workers that support the community? And health and well-being, we want to make sure that we reduce as many health risks as possible and create a good experience for people where they live. Moving on, we then take a look at Module 1.2. Taking a look at this first one, it's kind of look at the neighborhood scale. There's a site circulation map for pedestrian traffic, vehicular traffic, and public transit. And there's also a site usage maps, which gives a good look at the zoning and how diverse it is with residential, commercial, industrial, some park space, and how that all works together. We take a look at the conflicts and opportunities. Big conflicts would be ground plane conflict and how congested it can get, and the social environmental conflict, social being the short-term users are usually catered to more like tourists. We want to sort of balance that out a little bit for both short-term and long-term. The environmental conflict as well, as it sits in a flood zone and it suffers quite a bit from heat island effect. For opportunities, we have things like vertical opportunities with the ability to build relationships by constructing up instead of horizontally. And we have the climate opportunity, which helps use sustainable design to help boost our project. Looking at the design implications moving forward, I want to emphasize the program where we can use the ground level, mid levels, and upper levels as a way to foster a relationship between public and private. And I want to create spatial strategies like communal spaces, good circulation, and good shared spaces where these sort of relationships can be enhanced. Taking a look back, we look at what we learned and what matters most between environmental, social, urban, and program. These items all have to be taken into account to create a mediator between public and private users and create a good space that caters to climate and envelope design.